Hi, this is Benjamin Burgess of K Street Photography, DC. When I'm on a big project or journeying through the sky, photographing world events, or biking through buses and oncoming traffic through the streets of DC, I listen to Matt and Mooney at subfactspodcast.com to keep me entertained.
Hello and welcome to Subfacts. I'm your host, Matt. I'm here with my partner in crime, Mooney. What's up, Mooney?
What's going on, bud?
You know, it sounds great too. I'm not gonna lie. I've been practicing it all day.
You've been practicing your intro to the show you've introed
for almost 4 years.
500,000 times.
Yeah, like I was testing it. Well, earlier on, I was actually testing the audio for these. We changed the mic positions, as you know, last week, and so I was testing it.
Yeah,
and so I've been going. Well, you don't know. Most people go testing 1 2, testing 1 2, and of course I'm like, hey, welcome to Subfacts. I'm your husband. So I feel like it was getting better just in my practice, for lack of better terms. So maybe that's what it is.
You're just practicing now. You've done it 9 million times.
I know. I've done it 9 million times, but for some reason, as I'm going.
So for this show, it's very important to nail the intro.
Yes, I feel good now. I feel good. I feel like good. I feel like intro has been nailed. And so now we just need to see if we can.
Alrighty then.
Let's see if we can nail the warm up here.
Here we go.
What's up, Brian?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Good. See, Brian nailed the warm. He nailed the.
Everyone's nailing.
He's nailing the. What's up, guys? How are you?
We're all nailing stuff.
We're just nailing everything.
This show is called Nailed.
All right.
Nailed it.
First question for the warm up this week.
All right.
What is something you secretly judge people for?
Not looking like her. That's what. Holy cow! Even with the scowl, she looks awesome.
She does. Although, you know, it's weird. I follow her on Instagram. No. I follow her on Instagram. And what's very odd is I can't tell if she fakes it or is it her like natural look.
That look right there, or
like
being beautiful.
When she smiles, like on Instagram, like in her pictures, she has like she does have a unnatural almost smile.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
And I can't tell if she's putting it, if it's an effect.
It's probably
like if it's
manufactured.
Is it an effect to be cute, or is it the legit? That's how her real smile is.
It's probably a little bit manufactured to be cute.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what they all
I think it is like.
That look is like.
Do you judge her for that? I guess
I judge people for everything.
Me too. Like I mean, the way they park their cars.
Oh yeah.
Like
we wouldn't do this show honestly if we didn't judge people. You know what I mean?
Like people who tuck in shirts versus.
Yeah.
I mean, if you tuck in a football jersey, I don't want to know you. If you park next to me and I'm 80 miles from the place I'm going to, I don't want to know you.
Or like people eat weird too. Like
they do.
Like, or they talk and eat, or they just eat with their tongue sticking out, and stuff like that. I judge all of it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't think if there's something that annoys me at that second in time, yeah, I'm gonna judge.
I judge people by their like, not grammar. It's not grammar, but like local things. Like if you're from Pittsburgh, you say yuns. So like when I hear people go, you know, yuns or something like that, drives me nuts.
Yins gone
or like,
downtown.
yeah, like there's different, and like my wife used to say something like it would be like something even, you know, and I'd be like something even, you know, because it just sounds weird, you know. She would say, she would go and tacos even, so you know, or and pizza even. My
daughters
like,
say
even
like
was always the end of that, and I found that to be weird.
I don't notice.
I've noticed that.
I think a lot of people don't notice these things, but it drives me nuts.
I've noticed that growing up around here, my kids they like over enunciate like the O's, so like they'll say like ocean.
Yeah.
Like we're going to the ocean.
Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah. So I judge everybody, and people need to be judged. I'm not gonna lie, they do.
Yeah, like everything. Like, you know, going up to someone and then like not ordering at a place that's like McDonald's or a Burger. Mm-hmm. Like if you look at a menu forever there, like stop.
Yes, great point.
You already know nothing's changed in 90 years.
Nothing irritates me more than somebody who gets to McDonald's and has no idea what to get. And they what do they have here? Like, you dummy. If you have to ask, you need to be punched in the face big time.
Something that really annoys me is would like at the grocery store when people are in the checkout line.
I don't know if we were asking you that.
It was Brian, but
all right, I don't have to talk about it. That's fine.
He's like, I created the.
I couldn't.
He's
resist,
like, I created the warm up so I could answer the questions too.
Sorry, Brian. Go nuts, man.
No, I was gonna say at the grocery store, when the cashier's ringing up their stuff, but they don't like stick their card in the machine while their stuff is being rung up, so it's like ready and set to go. So as soon as the cashier's done ringing everything up, they can process the sale. So instead, like when the people have to dig out their wallet, pull out their card, it's like they had all that time to do that. Why didn't they do it then? They were just standing there.
I don't necessarily stick it in the machine ready. I have the card ready for it to be prompted, and as soon as it prompts, then I.
Well, that's fine
like,
too.
I'm
but
that,
it's the people that like have to dig it out of their purse and or out of their
like,
pocket.
oh my God,
and like you were standing there, you knew this was going to happen. This is like the end result of every.
At the grocery store, the people that I hate are the ones where, like, if I go to the grocery store, I'm never in a hurry. Like, I never go when I'm in a hurry because it's like anything can happen. So the people, what gets me is when I'm, let's say, 3 people deep and the person up front is having issues. The person always in front of me wants to turn around at me and sit and like commiserate. And I'm like, don't look at me. You get pissed on your own. You know, there's people who look around for other people to be pissed with. I hate, like,
there are so many people.
I hate. I'm not going to commiserate with you. It's like the person's doing their job.
They don't know you.
I don't want to talk to you. I don't care that we're
like
being held up.
Like the old lady.
Yeah, like I don't want to
behind you, and then the person at the counter is like forever with a coupon code, and then they look mad, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna get mad with you.
No, I hate the person who wants somebody to commiserate with them. I'm like, dude, that's on you. If you're late, that's on you. You chose to go to the grocery store.
If we create a rock band, I want our first album to be called 3 People Deep.
This might be the name of the show. And so
3 People Deep.
Yes. Okay, cool.
All right.
No, we could honestly spend a whole show on things that annoy us or we judge people
there's
for.
Not, actually, that's a great idea for
I didn't think about it, but it kind of is our show.
It is things we judge people for.
All right. Second question. Which of these female action hero characters was the best? So for our listeners, the ones that aren't watching on YouTube,
whoa. Sorry, I'm sorry, I need to jump in here, but like best actress and/or best character.
No, just the best character, not necessarily. Okay, So for that's first one is Ellen Ripley from the Aliens franchise. Second one is Beatrix Kiddo from the Kill Bill franchise. The third one is Sarah Connor from Terminator. The fourth one is Harley Quinn from several DC movies. And then Jane Smith from Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Ooh, I'm torn between 2.
I have a guaranteed one, so I'll let you take your choices.
I'm torn between 2. All right. I'm eliminating Ellen Ripley immediately because although I do like Alien, I'm not the biggest fan of the franchise, so I never really thought of her as like this ultimate hero. So she's like easily eliminated. She's gone. Sarah Connor complains way too much and didn't listen to the helpful future person that wanted to help her from the beginning. So she's gone. Jane Smith, it was a one-time movie. Like, stop. I mean, I'm not going her. So she's gone. But Harley Quinn and Beatrix Kiddo, woo, that's a close call.
Would you like me to solve that one for you, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I hated Kill Bill. That actually got me out of the Quentin Tarantino fan club.
Kill Bill's awesome.
Couldn't deal with it.
Both movies are fantastic.
Annoyed me to no end. For me, as soon as I saw this list, Harley Quinn, boom. Because literally, first Suicide Squad, she's the only reason to watch the movie.
Agreed.
And Birds of Prey sucked. Not her fault. The directing and the writing was awful. She still would have been fantastic. When you look at the other Suicide Squad, once again, she's kind of the only reason to see the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
but I'm going to go Beatrix Kiddo then, because if you're going to go Harley, I'm going to go Beatrix. Because I thought
we could agree. I thought that was one.
No. I love the Kill Bill movies.
Oh, okay.
I love them both.
Yeah. Nope.
And then like the whole like, you know, she takes the guy's heart out at the end. Like, come on, that's awesome.
I didn't even see the second one because it was like,
she
nope,
is
I'm
a
done.
badass, dude.
I made it probably 45 minutes, if that, of the first one.
If
it was
we're
like,
judging
nope,
it
I'm
based
done.
on hotness, Harley wins every day of the week.
100%.
So that's a close call for me. I'm fine either way, but I would probably go Beatrix.
All right. I agree with Mooney.
Beatrix is a stupid name. It's
It
like
is
a
stupid
cereal.
name. All right, I changed. I'm going Harley. Beatrix.
I was with you, Mooney. Come on. All right.
Dumb.
Last question.
Beatrix.
Stupid.
How different do you think your life would be if you were female instead of male?
It's Pride Month, everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
I would be a lot different because I think I would be labeled slut. Like I
Do we, by the way, do we look like female versions of ourselves, or do we look like how, like, what do we look like? Are we like hot? Or are we like, what are we? It's a female. Like, are we just naturally boned? Like, if we're a big boned female, I think it would be way harder for us than it is as a male. But if we're like somewhat, we have the ability to be really cute, then it would. That's a whole different conversation.
I don't know.
What I mean?
I think I would be a terrible chick.
Huh.
I mean, I had the emotional side of being a chick, and then like I'm loyal like a chick. But I mean, outside that,
Loyal like a chick. That's the new show name.
but other than that, like I mean,
Loyal like a broad.
but I'm like, I don't think I would be a good woman, female at all. Like, I mean, I would like if men liked me, I would probably sleep with a lot of men, right? I mean, I would just be like, oh, you're cute and you want me? Okay, let's do it. Bam, done. Like, I mean, if you're going out to bars 3 nights a week, I mean, you're talking three hookups a week.
There's we run a clean show, folks. But there's so many questions I have. It's like literally, you would be the one.
I didn't say anything bad.
No, I'm saying
kept it
you would be
PC.
the one getting impaled versus impaling.
Yeah, but if you're a female, the impale sensation is
Oh my gosh.
delightful.
But what I'm saying is, let's say there's like oral things going down too.
But you like that you're a female. You can't.
I guess you just
your
have to
male
assume
brain. There's no
male brain
brain
doesn't
that,
exist in the world.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're sorry you asked that one, Brian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely am.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
Impale?
I'm just saying. I think I'd be might be the new show title.
We have like 90 show titles.
I know, right? I don't know. Like I would think that like I'd probably be an average at best female. Like I don't think I'd bring anything great to the world of females.
You wouldn't be the first female president.
But I will say, here's one thing that I do.
That's true.
I am a huge champion of females in my normal life, so I probably would be that same way if I were a female as well. Like, for instance, like I know people when it comes to like music or whatever that don't listen to like female singers because and I don't know if it's just a male thing or what.
Dumb.
But it's kind of like I think I champion female singers. Like I'll be the first person to go, that girl's awesome in whatever. So I think I'm kind of a feminist in a weird sort of way, like in a lot of things, like as far as equal rights and all that kind of stuff. So I think I'd be a good female.
I mean, I think we'd be good chicks from that perspective, but we may not have a lot.
No,
of
but
fans.
if we're like, if I'm a female that looks like me, I'm kind of like, that's no good. Because the one thing I do feel like
then you got to catfish like a champ.
So guys have it easier in the fact that girls are much more forgiving in the looks department.
They are, absolutely.
Whereas like I've seen girls that like just genetically were effed at birth. Like there's nothing they can do you can't do anything like because your genes are so bad off. So it's kind of like you have no choice.
That's true. I mean, I've seen some very ugly females, but like
if a guy has bad genes, personality can kick in, and girls are very forgiving. Whereas, come on,
I'm shallow as the next person, but like sometimes it depends on how ugly are we talking.
Tammy, let's say she wasn't 1,000.
That's different.
No. Let's say she wasn't in the 1,000-pound category. Just her gene pool is not a good gene pool.
Right, but I know a lot of females who went from being, I was like, no, but when they lost the weight, I was like, whoa, okay, all right.
Okay. I just think I think it's much harder. I do feel,
Right.
I do feel for them.
I do agree. All right.
Anyway, boom.
All right.
There he is.
poor
Oh,
Iron
man.
Yeah, Iron Cheek, R.I.P.
Oh, dude, I was going to mention him in the sports thing, but yeah, dude.
He was awesome. He had such an interesting
like that, dude.
He had such an interesting story too. And the one thing that should be pointed out is like, he came from Iran and he was a very happy-go-lucky, personal kind of guy with like hair and everything.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really getting. He was like a major athlete. Like he was an Iranian Olympic, wrestler. And he gets here and he gets in the whole like professional wrestling aspect. And he couldn't get a vibe. Like things weren't working for him. And at the height of like the Iranian hostages and all that kind of stuff going on in the world, he decides to like shave his head, double down, and go full on like, I'm creating this character who's the ultimate,
and he nailed it.
The ultimate villain. He
did. He nailed it.
Yeah, and
from like the curled mustache to the pointy shoes.
Yeah,
like, and then he has the camel clutch.
Yeah, but if you think about it, like how dangerous is it though? Like think about around like 9/11. If you're the guy who's going, you know what? I'm Osama bin Laden. I'm that guy. Like that's big. That's big time.
Yeah.
And so so it goes beyond just the character, like the wrestling piece of it. But he always made me laugh. I used to follow him on Twitter. It's hilarious.
He's the reason people like us started watching wrestling, right? I mean, Hulk Hogan beats him, and you're like, "Oh my God, Hulk Hogan!" Whoa, right?
Yeah, America versus Iran, right? Russia too at the Nikolai Volkov.
And if he wasn't as good or as big or as personable, like he sold, like that evil, like the bad guy wrestler.
Oh yeah,
and he was perfect. So yeah, I mean, R.I.P. dude. I mean that. Yeah, it kind of sucks that he's gone.
R.I.P. Iron Cheek.
R.I.P. brother.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to. I've come to a conclusion that, and you got to help me out with this. And this goes a little bit with what the first question was in the warm up, but I can't tell if I'm an old crotchety person at this point. Like I'm not 50, folks, but I feel like maybe I'm like over the hill. So I go to this past week. I went to go see Paramore. And sold out show at like the Capital One, the big arena, folks. Okay. And I think that the audience is going to look more like me. Like I figured, why not?
Average.
Yeah, I just assumed.
Average Joe.
Average Joe. I don't stand out. I'm not doing anything to stand out. Just trying to park. We see people just walking to the venue. And I'm talking like train wrecks. I'm talking like young kids, but like you would see like a 400-pound girl with like fishnets and like Daisy Dukes.
Why?
And like belly coming out exposed. And
belly shirt?
Yes.
Belly shirt, fishnets?
Yes. And I'm like, bad tattoos, the works, right? So then, and it gets worse.
Why?
It gets worse from there.
Go on. All right.
The sea of humanity that was at this show was like, I saw like, dudes in dresses. I saw there was a dude.
Why?
There was a dude who was like, had to be 450 pounds. He was wearing a skin tight tank top, like a navy blue tank top that had some words on it. I couldn't read the words.
That's vomit.
With Daisy Dukes on. And I'm like, and he had like a sweatband, I think, around his head. And this was the average of everybody in this show in the crowd.
So this is not
this isn't the one standout.
You're like, look at that weirdo.
No,
those weirdos are looking at you and like, hey, look at the normal guy dressed with shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah. Like I was like it was like I was at the zoo, but I was in the cage maybe because I'm sitting I was sitting there
Look
and
at this clean shaven dude with no like tattoos.
I kept and so here's my thing. And I didn't say anything. I'm at the show. We all had a good time. Everybody's having a good time. Nobody was hostile, nothing like that.
Right. I get it.
We get in the car and I look at my wife and I'm like, what's wrong with the world today?
Absolutely.
And I said, here's the problem. We're not allowed to judge people anymore. People don't want to be judged. So everything's like, hey, don't judge me. So their friends don't judge them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I grew up in a world where like you and I, if I said, let's go to a show and I show up at the door with like fishnets and
I would say I'm not
booty
going.
shorts and
I
a
would
tank
say
top.
No.
You would go, hey, a-hole, I'm going to punch you in the face if you don't change.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
like I'm not going to be seen in public with you.
I would not be seen in public with that person.
Yeah. That's like none of this exists anymore.
Okay. No, there's on all levels, this is wrong. Have some self-respect. And if you're a big person, wear some baggier clothes.
Yes.
Wear something that hides the gut, right? Make you look at least decent. Wear black if you can. Stop with the.
Yeah. So I've been dropping some LBs. And so part of the joy of this is like, I'm now starting to buy like concert shirts because it's the first time in life that I can actually buy a concert shirt and have it fit. I saw people that were buying the concert shirt and it was one of those, they probably didn't go for the biggest size and they were like bigger than me trying to like skin tight belly coming out and everything. I'm like, why?
Oh,
why?
God,
like
it's disgusting.
And nobody in the group is going,
I probably would have had.
No one's doing that. And I know what the problem, I was thinking the problem might be the lack of like MTV. You know how like MTV could kind of almost without telling you how to dress, kind of told you how to dress.
Exactly.
Because you could see like, oh, like they had different shows. So it's kind of like, hey, if I'm into punk music, I watch this show. If I'm into this, I watch this. But they all had kind of like a standard kind of dress.
Right.
So you kind of go, okay, like you expect that if you're going to go to a punk show, you're going to see one kind of dress, but at least it's appropriate.
Yeah.
None of this is like.
You could still wear your concert shirt. Just make sure it's a larger size.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you can't fit in one, just wear black. Like wear black. Nothing wrong with wearing black.
And use a magic marker and paint the band's name on it or something.
Something. But these people, then you turn around and there's another fat dude with like a Bermuda shirt on. And I don't know what it is about Daisy Dukes, but it seems like everybody, like back in our day,
why would you wear Daisy Dukes?
In our generation, we wear shorts down to like our knees, right? No, this generation seems to be like, hey, let's go as high as we can go. And I'm like, no. Like,
but you know what? I blame. And since we're not a political show, we won't go down the other landscape. But I blame the people who created participation trophies.
It could be it, and that's
when it all started. It's okay to be fifth. It's okay to be last. It's okay.
Yeah,
you get an award too. You're good. You're awesome.
Yeah.
No. If I had a kid and he came with a fifth place trophy, I would throw it against a brick wall in his face.
Yeah, absolutely.
And say no.
And the whole like everybody's beautiful. No,
you're not.
There's a comedian and I saw him on, I don't know.
You're beautiful in your own way.
I saw a guy on like, it was like Instagram or something. And I don't know the comedian's name, but I'm just 100% saying it's not me. But the person was saying how everybody says Lizzo's beautiful. And he goes, but my girlfriend gets pissed when I tell her she looks like Lizzo. And it's true because like, come on, everybody wants to say, oh, she's big and beautiful and all this kind of stuff. To what standards, you know? And if you do actually tell the person you look like Lizzo, they're going to get pissed at you.
Yeah.
So it's like, where's the judging? We need more people judging.
I agree. We need more judging in this world.
Yes. And so,
I'm on board.
Yeah. So but once again, am I just being old? Am I just being an old guy who's, the kids today are all going to hell?
No.
So, okay.
No. You're perfectly in the right to judge those people.
So then another thing happened, and I want your opinion on this too. So in the middle of the show or part of the show, there's like a sing along thing where Haley brings somebody from the crowd up on stage to sing the song. But when she's in a certain town where there's like a celebrity of whatnot, they'll bring a celebrity out as well. And so because we're in DC, she brought out a the youngest congressman or I don't even know the person's name. So she's like, hey, she introduces him and says, hey, do you want to say something to your constituents? Yeah, constituents. And he immediately just goes, F. Then he said somebody's name. I'm not going to go into the political aspect of it or whatever.
Why? What?
But I'm like, if you're a part of like government, shouldn't you kind of be like, hey, thank you for voting.
Yeah.
Vote for me next time. You don't drop the F-bomb on your first like go round.
No, you don't.
And that's where I couldn't tell if I was old. Because the whole crowd was like,
and you don't know the crowd. Like, you don't know if the crowd's going to be warm to you or not.
I assume and I think the person rightly assumed that the crowd would be warm to him. But I was sitting there going, to your point, you really don't know if you're gonna, and if you like, there's a ton of cameras out there.
Right. What if I was there and I was like, I like that guy, but like, F you.
Yeah. What if that shows up on like, Instagram or something of this guy just saying F so and so, and I'm just like, why would you do that? Why and that's where I'm like, am I old? I just left the show just judging everybody and like, especially potential politicians and stuff like that. I was just like, you don't just drop the F-bomb. Show some coup.
That's dumb. Yeah. Dumb. Yeah, okay. That's an epic fail on that guy's part.
So anyway, I will say the band was fantastic. Haley is one of the most underrated female front persons. So definitely check them out if you can. But just know the crowd is weird.
The crowd
and should be judged heavily. So another thing along kind of similar lines, I think it happened last week or 2 weeks ago. The writers in Hollywood, or writers in general, are going on strike or have been on strike.
What?
Because they want like better pay, all the stuff that people go on strike for. But they're very concerned about AI taking over their jobs. And so what I was thinking about is, these people have sucked for years. And here's my thing when it comes to the arts. And people always think, well, you guys do a podcast, all the stuff. You should be supporting the arts. If you're good at your job, you're going to have a job.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to get
paid well.
You're going to get paid well. But if you suck at your job.
Like Leigh Whannell gets paid really well.
I don't know who that is.
The writer and one of the writers of Saw franchise.
Oh, okay. But like these,
like Darren Lee Boozman, like they're all part of that Saw series. Yeah. And guess what? They get signed on to Insidious. They get signed on to Conjuring. That's why you see their names in a lot of these different horror movie franchises, because they're good at what they do.
Yeah. And if you're on like a staff of 20 for like a late night show,
Judd Apatow, right? I mean, there's a reason Judd Apatow gets signed a lot.
Yeah. Like, hey, if you're good at what you do, and but I'm saying if you're on a staff of like 20 writers and your show sucks, well, then you're probably going to lose your job. That's probably what's going to happen because you suck at your job. And so I'm not a fan of that at all. The interesting thing is it now looks like the actors might be striking soon too, and maybe possibly the directors. So I have a feeling Hollywood is basically cannibalizing themselves. And I'm saying good riddance. If you suck, you suck. Get new people. Like
what? How much do you want? Like actors and actresses are already paid unbelievable amounts of money.
Like I am now rooting for AI to come in and take likenesses. Write better. I guarantee you AI is going to write better scripts than the a-holes that are striking.
You're wrong. B, I don't want to get into it because AI is only going to make me mad. I don't want to get into it.
I'm saying there hasn't
AI is only going to get me mad. But my point is actors are already getting paid gargantuan salaries. They don't need more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's directors ridiculous. And all that good stuff. I just think striking, you guys are dumb. Find me a good writer and then we'll talk. But we have think about it. The TV shows, the movies have all been rehashed crap. You know what? F them.
You watch all this stuff.
I know, and most of it sucks. So it's like,
then why do you watch
that's why I watch a lot of reality stuff. Like the 1,000 Pound Sisters, they're doing their own writing. Nobody's writing for them, and that's fantastic. So,
of course, he threw that in there. Folks.
No, I'm just saying, the writer's strike. I think it's going to be interesting because if the writers are on strike, the actors are on strike, and the directors now end up on strike.
Yeah, then we don't have TV and movies.
Let's see how that plays out because it just seems
more
like
sports. All right,
So That's pretty much what it's going to come down to, because there's going to be no movies.
It won't last.
No,
Stop.
it'll eventually stop. But the writers, the more I pay attention to it, the more I just get very annoyed. I'm like,
yeah,
if you're good at what you do, you'll get paid.
Yeah,
that's really what it comes
Very
down
simple.
to, you know. But they want like all these guarantees and like, no, there's no guarantee. Like, sorry,
no guarantees. Sorry.
If you suck at your job,
This isn't football. This isn't football or NBA. There's no guarantees.
Yep. So anyway, that's my thing on that. And we already mentioned the Iron Sheik earlier in the show, but there's another big RIP in my world, maybe not so much yours, but Pat Cooper. Did you ever know who he was?
No
Pat
idea.
Cooper is like a legendary New York comedian. And
no idea who he is.
And he died. And I will say this, Pat Cooper was one of the funniest dudes ever. He's like one of those old, like New York Italian dudes. The funniest thing he ever, like, you know, how, like, I listen to Howard Stern all the time. Howard used to have Pat Cooper on all the time. Greatest quote ever is Howard was like hyping him up, and he was just like, "Oh my God, Pat Cooper is the funniest man on earth." He immediately just goes, "What? I suck on Mars?" I'm like, yes. Pat Cooper was the greatest. And the fact that he was always amped up, you would like him because he always got amped up. He was always angry and bitter.
I don't know him. I've never seen his stuff.
He was always bitter about something.
Like Kinnison or anything like that, or not?
No. He was older, more like Rickles era.
Oh, okay, got it.
And so I think Rickles is only like 3 years older than him or something. So he died. He had a good run. Pat Cooper was like 90 something.
93.
93. He had a good
really
run.
good run.
And his family hated him. Like he was, it was. So he used to get in fights with his family on Howard's show, and so it would just awesome. But I'm telling you, go back if you haven't heard of Pat Cooper, folks, go back and check out some Pat Cooper. This dude is downright hilarious and big RIP. Like I said, I was actually that almost touched me, got me more than Iron Sheik when I heard about it.
Whoa, geez.
Pat Cooper just is so fun. Brian, do you know Pat Cooper, or is it?
I mean, really? I wasn't like a big fan. I didn't follow him that much, and I'd seen him in some things. Like I think he was on Seinfeld a lot, and I want to say I think he was in Goodfellas. In a role.
He was supposed to be in Casino. I know that, but he turned it down because he didn't have enough speaking roles.
Yeah, there was something he was in with De Niro.
He self-sabotaged his career quite a bit because, like I said, Casino, they offer him a role, and he's like, well, because it wasn't enough, he didn't get enough words.
Speaking time,
and you're like, dude, you're in a movie with De Niro, and every Pesci and all that stuff, and you're complaining.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, he complained about everything. That was just the funny in Pat Cooper. So he made me laugh. So R.I.P. Pat Cooper.
Mailbag. Okay, folks, it's time for mailbag. Mailbag.
Your mom probably would love Pat Cooper.
Well, she probably knows.
That's
Pat
what
Cooper.
I'm saying. They're from the similar generation.
Absolutely. My dad probably loves Pat Cooper.
Probably.
Yeah.
You should ask them next time you see him.
I will.
All right.
I'll see you
the mailbag this week is from Space Coast Bill.
Boom.
His subject is comments for TV and movies. He says, I'm with Mooney, and I think John Wick is dead, but he absolutely could come back. There's nothing that says without a doubt he's dead, and the John Wick franchise makes too much money to just stop making movies.
Absolutely does.
I'm not opposed to it. It would just be a little it's sad. It's sad. That's the thing that I would call it to be a little bit hokey, whereas the rest of John Wick falling downstairs and all that isn't hokey. You know what I mean? It's just weird.
I don't see how. Like, he didn't all you did was see him lean over. We discussed this.
No, but we saw the gravestone, and we saw the manager of the inn talking about him.
Oh, because gravestone means you're actually dead. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
No, you brought up a valid point that it could have been faked and all that.
Absolutely. And of course, what's his name? The main dude's going to go along with it.
Yeah, and
Winston.
Don't get me wrong.
Winston's going to cover for him.
Hey, if there's John Wick 5, you're not going to see me complaining.
I'll be there Thursday.
I'm going. Don't think I'm not. I'm just saying it would. I don't know. It would add to a little bit of hokiness.
Not for me. All right. What else did he say?
He says, "My wife and I enjoyed Miss Maisel, probably
Boom. It's awesome.
probably more than Ted Lasso, but Maisel could have ended a season earlier."
He's not wrong.
How many seasons did it have?
It had 5 seasons, if I'm correct, and he's not wrong. So the last season was really good. The season right before felt like filler. So he's not wrong. If they literally just took the previous season away and did that, it would have been a perfect show.
All right.
So
I didn't watch Miss Maisel, so I can't comment.
It's so good.
I
think you'd actually like it.
There's no chance I would like that.
It's
show.
really funny.
No chance.
He says, "Finally, Boogeyman was awful, but Spider-Man."
No,
he says, "But Spider-Man was amazing. Was just as amazing as the first one."
Oh my god!
I didn't see either, so I'm going to let you take this one, sir.
Okay. Spider-Man is a cartoon, and no way it's good. I'm sorry, but it's just no way it's good. And there's 900 Spider-Mans.
I think it made several $100 million already.
That doesn't mean it's good. I mean, I'm sorry. It just doesn't mean it's good. And the fact that there's 18,000 universes and all these no, stop. And it's a cartoon. I don't want to see it. Stop it. No.
It's not made for you, Manny.
It's not made for anybody. People are just going, "Oh, I'll accept it and I'll watch it."
I can't wait to see it.
No, you can't. You can wait to see it, and you shouldn't. Regarding Boogeyman, absolutely wrong.
Probably a movie I'll never see.
Oh my! I have no idea why. Boogeyman was full of nice little jump scares. It kept you on your toes. I mean, it wasn't the best well-made horror movie out there, but I mean, you definitely had that little chilling experience that you like in a horror movie. And if you go see it with a female, they're all curled up next to you because they're waiting for the shoe to drop. So no, he's way wrong on that. Boogeyman is not like a 10 or 9, but it's a solid 6.5, 7.
Fair enough.
All right. Well,
I didn't see any of it, so I can't really speak to it.
Thank you for the email, Space Coast.
Awesome.
Thank you, Space Coast.
Thank you, Space Coast. Movies of the week. I just wanted to join in on that one. Okay, so movies. I can't say it's going to be the big movie, but I guess it is teed up to be the big movie of the week. Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Is it going to beat the Spider-Man movie? Is it going to beat the movies that are already out? I don't.
Everything else but Spider-Man.
Okay, because I don't know who's still going to see these movies. I saw the second one, first 2, I think, and then I was like, nope, I'm done.
No. You're going to get a segment of people out there that want to see every Transformers movie, and B, this one looks a little bit different. I didn't like any of the first 5.
Like, I don't even know who that segment of people is. I really don't.
You're Transformers fans. You're people who grew up in that era. They see everything from Transformers. It's going to do well. It's going to do at least 100 million.
Yeah. My problem with them is when they
fight. Back before COVID, it would have done 200 million.
My problem is when they fight, you can't tell who's who. It's just metal. It's like I need to be able to see the villain. I need to be able to see the hero and let them duke it out. I can't see like metal just pieces together.
I think it's a little bit fresh. They have a good Transformer, a new evil Transformer. The kid who plays the main star and he's in the Bumblebee or whatever the car is, not the Bumblebee, but a different car now. The coming attractions make it look watchable, unlike the other 5 or 4 or whatever there was. Yeah. So will I watch it in the theater? Probably not, but will I watch it when it comes to HBO, whatever? Yeah.
That's not one where you have to see it in the theater based on the action pieces of it?
Nah, I don't. I mean, it's not. I don't know if I want to spend $25 because I'm going to go and I'm going to buy Coke and I'm going to buy popcorn, right? So, I mean, it's a $25 movie experience.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you can count me out. I'm never going to see it. I don't care if it's free and, somebody in my family, if somebody in my family is watching it next to me, I'll be looking the other way. I have no desire.
Wow.
Nah, I can't do it. The other movie actually looks kind of intriguing. I'm not going to the movie theater for it, but it's called 97 Minutes. Have you seen the trailer for that?
Nope, I have not.
So it's about a plane that gets hijacked, and essentially there's only 97 minutes of fuel left on the plane. And so it's like the typical like hijack type of movie type of thing. I love that stuff. I'll totally watch that kind of thing. I know it's going to be a little bit on the far-fetched side, obviously, but
Isn't it?
I don't think anybody majors. Oh yeah, no. Oh, that is. I did write that down actually.
Jonathan Rhys-Meyers and
Jonathan
Alec
Rhys-Meyers and Alec Baldwin.
Oh, Alec Baldwin's pretty big.
And I like Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. That's just pretty solid. But I don't think it's going to be a big movie necessarily. But
no, definitely not.
But it's something that I think
I don't know. Sounds intriguing.
I would definitely
sounds better than Transformers.
I would definitely watch it over Transformers, no doubt.
All right, sounds like something I would watch.
Yeah, and so so then there is, nope. Oh yeah, the other thing that came out this week was the Expendables 4 trailer.
Don't think I haven't watched it 4 times.
Yeah, looks amazing, awesome.
I agree, it looks awesome. That's why I watched it 4 times. But I'm very, very scared.
Why?
Stallone's in 2 of the scenes in the whole preview.
But you know the one where he's like at the bar and he's like,
yeah,
bring it or whatever.
But the thing
awesome.
is, did you also watch the end of the preview?
I saw the whole thing. I'm trying to see what you're.
Where it went all the characters' names and it said "and Stallone."
That's just him being modest.
You sure? Usually
is the
when
franchise.
it says "and," it means they're not in it that long. Like Best Defense was and Eddie Murphy, who had 13 minutes of screen time.
He is like the franchise.
I agree, but I'm worried.
But isn't he the main producer too? Like I think he's like the producer and writer. He's like the guy.
That doesn't mean he's going to be in it.
He's not going to write himself out of it.
I know he's not going to write himself out of it, but typically when it says "and," it means you get less screen time. And Stallone is the biggest reason I would go see it. I'm going to see it no matter what.
And if he's the minimal person in there, it's going to piss me off. That's why I'm putting the "and." No, I know, but I don't. I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
You're not worried.
I have faith in Stallone. I have faith that he's going to.
Okay. To give you an idea, in the last movie, Expendables 3, it said "and Kellen Lutz." Kellen Lutz had like 4 scenes.
Yeah, but Kellen Lutz is not Stallone. Kellen Lutz isn't the guy who's.
It doesn't matter. When you're an "and," you're not a part of the movie. You're like a footnote.
They
mention
you
later. You're like, oh, and Stallone was in it.
There's no way Stallone's ego would let him be an "and" versus
and it's not
anybody else.
He's the best actor in there, no problem.
No, but what I'm saying is, his ego personally is not going to let him be the guy who's like second fiddle to anybody.
Okay, well, I hope not. I hope you're right.
And so, if he's a producer and all that stuff, he's not going to let himself be second fiddle.
All I'm saying is, I hope you're right. He wasn't in the preview that much, and he was an "and" at the end. All I'm saying is 2 red flags. You got 2 red flags in one preview.
Yeah. So,
you're a lot more positive than I am.
Yes.
Yeah, optimistic than I am.
Yeah, I saw it and I'm like, boom, can't wait. Sign me up.
Of course. I'm gonna sign up anyway.
It comes out September 22nd.
Steak-ing.
So September 22nd, everybody can see Expendables 4.
26, according to your thing.
I wrote down September 22nd on my notes.
All right. It's probably September 22nd because September 22nd is a Friday.
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, boom. Now,
why do I know that? It's my birthday.
Oh, boom! Happy early birthday. So just switching over to TV, I'm a little annoyed. I don't even think we mentioned it because we didn't give any spoilers for Ted Lasso. And Brian and I were having a conversation prior, and I was like, the one thing I didn't like about this season, the series finale, was they basically teed up a possible spinoff. And it was like, when movies do that, where you just know that like they're building you up. That's how I felt on the finale. And so literally a week later, Apple is already teasing a spinoff, which we kind of knew was going to happen because it's their cash cow. I think the only person that wanted to leave was Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah.
So they figure everybody else is like, dude, let's ride this to the ground, which they should do. But Apple, like, come on, give it a couple months and then tease a spinoff. Don't literally do it a week later.
They already teased the spinoff?
Yes.
What's the spinoff?
No. They basically did like an Instagram post of, like, you didn't see the. I don't
care. I don't care.
So they gave an Instagram post. If you haven't already seen it, folks, just block out the next 5 minutes.
Stop. It's been out for what?
It's been a week
since the final episode. That's it.
Week and a half. Brian, is that a week and a half?
I thought it was 2 or 3 weeks.
It's been a week and a half. So
it's enough time.
I'm giving people enough warning. But anyway, so they basically there's a picture of like Roy Kent in the middle, and then Nate next to him, and then Coach Beard. All three of those were basically in the finale teamed up, or basically announced that Roy Kent was the new head coach. Coach Beard stayed back in England. Nate joined the team. So they basically, here you go.
Okay.
And so then another thing came out. I think Apple teased another thing. Once again, picture being cryptic. And it's like, come on, people. We already know. We know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's just don't play games. Just say, look, this is what we're doing. Sudeikis wanted out. We're continuing the show.
Yeah.
Don't do a whole like.
I mean, it's hard to do it without Sudeikis, but it'll get by.
Yeah. I'm gonna enjoy it quite a bit. I did like the third season better than the second season. So I think
not as good as the first.
No. I think the first is the best.
First is the epic.
Third is the second best, and then the second season was the least favorite.
I would agree.
Brian, are you in the same boat?
All right, we lost Brian. See you later.
Sorry, I muted myself. Yes.
Okay.
Boosh.
Awesome. Boom. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, that's the TV part. And I think with the writer's strike going on and possible director strike and actor strike.
Oh my God! Don't even.
There's only one person that's going to come to the table.
This is Cindy Starfall, and it's time for Mooney's Dugout. Love you, Mooney.
Awesome.
Boom.
Love you, Cindy.
Wouldn't that be great if they're like, every Hollywood quit, so we're gonna have to bring up the adult actresses to to pave the way in the shows.
That would be awesome. Like a story about a TV show on adult actresses. That would be great. All right. The leading. This is a pretty huge story. I mean, if you're a true sports fan and you like all sports, as far as getting headlines, because we have the NBA Finals, you have the NHL Finals. NFL was always on the top, the food chain, but this is pretty big. The LIV, the PGA, and the DP World Tour are now going to combine into one entity under the basic Saudi Arabian lord. What's his name? So his name is Yasir Al Rumayya. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. So basically, he's the governor of Saudi Arabia. He's got a $600 billion fund that he manages, basically, and it's called like the PIF, and he finances LIV right now. But as you know, LIV lost money, even though they have all these like prized golfers. No one watches. So now basically the PGA Tour said, Saudi money spends just as good as any other money.
So their morals went right out the window.
Absolutely. Morals went right out the window. And now they're going to have one tournament or one golf league, and they're going to combine all three forces.
I didn't even know there was a DP league. I assume Cindy Starfall was a part of that, but I didn't even know what that was. But if back to the real thing, how pissed are you if you're like some of the holdout, like the people that were like loyal to the PGA and didn't take those big pay increases? Like, how pissed are you if you're those people?
Yeah, you're that. And by the way, I was hoping you were going to say that. So I forget who said something to me, but someone brilliant, like, and you're brilliant. He basically said, how dumb are these golfers that didn't go over?
Yeah.
Because now, like your Tiger Woods, $1 billion offer, like Rory McIlroy, hundreds of millions of dollars in offers.
Yeah.
Like, if he took that money, he now could be part of the PGA again.
Yeah.
And he has that money.
Absolutely.
It
And he's not
doesn't
going
go
to get it.
away.
He's not going to get it now. Like now everybody's going to get regular wages.
Exactly. So all these people who went over, they do have to reapply, but the PGA Tour is of course going to accept them back.
They're definitely not going to say no, especially when they're now owned by the Live people. So
Right.
Live's not going to go no.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're going to accept them back. And the biggest reason is A, they're superstars and people wanted to see them. And B, like you said, the biggest shareholder in this new thing is the Yasser Al Rumayana, whatever his name is.
I can't believe, honestly, I watched that show on Netflix, and obviously I don't know the real world situation, but I watched the show on Netflix, Full Swing, I think it's called.
Yeah.
It's a documentary on it, and the press had a field day with the whole, where are they getting their money, all that kind of stuff, and all the atrocities that the Saudis have been in charge of. And the PGA now is going to go, hey, money's money.
Hey, yeah, money's money. We want some of that too.
Yeah, their money
$600
spent.
billion. They can lose a lot. They can just keep losing money. It doesn't matter.
I have to know, like, so the PGA, like the guy who's head of the PGA, is he loses his job because now the Live people?
No. So
him?
no. He's gonna be like the second. He's gonna run it.
Yeah.
So the guy, his name is Jay Monahan.
Like, what payout did that dude get? Like,
probably a lot. So Jay Monahan is the commissioner of the PGA.
Yeah.
So he's going to be the commissioner, I think, of this new combined league.
Okay.
So because that he's the guy who stood as strong as possible in the sand until basically I think his boss said, "Look, we're going to sell out."
Yeah, like I gotta want I would love to be in that room, like when that conversation's going down.
I mean, to give you the best idea, everyone in their jobs, and we get it more than most. We say no, and the person above us says yes.
Yeah, but who's above like the commissioner?
I mean, the people who fund golf, right? Like Roger Goodell is, but he's the commissioner.
But that's the owners, like the owners
together own teams, and they vote on who is gonna.
Yeah, I don't know how that works in
basically
golf.
Be the judicial board.
Yeah, like I don't know who is that person in golf. Like who owns?
Who knows? But now what I'm saying is he has a boss, or the people that fund the PGA and make it all happen.
Yeah,
basically said no, we're going to take the money.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, in a weird, it's terrible moral wise. It's terrible for the people who were loyal to PGA. It's terrible all from that perspective. But it just literally shows money will buy anything.
Yeah, money buys everything.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, you couldn't keep fighting the LIV. They would have kept poaching your golfers. Eventually the LIV may have been on the same playing field. It may have taken 2 or 3 years, but why fight it? If the eventual reality was combined, do it now.
And don't get me wrong, folks. I would be the first person.
And I hate LIV. I'm saying that, and I hate LIV.
See, the difference is I would be the first person to cross that line. Like if LIV said, "Hey, look, we'll give you an extra $50," done. You don't have to tell me twice, folks.
Don't say $50. They're giving you like an extra 100 million.
Whatever it is. I'm just saying, I have no problems. We've established I'll sell out like a champ. Don't think I won't. I'll cross that line.
Like the PGA, you left for $50.
Yeah, I'd be like, look, hey, $50 is $50, folks. I don't care where it's coming from. I don't care if it's a Nigerian prince, who hacks people's phones for a living. Hey, they're paying me extra. I'm taking it.
Wow, sellout. I would need at least 50 million.
I'd still see you on my team. I'd be like, hey, what's up? What'd you get?
To stay on the golf end of things, I thought I mentioned this to Brian, so I apologize. Viktor Hovland, he's on the PGA Tour. So
terrible name.
Yeah, terrible name. But like this guy just won the Memorial Open, which is a huge tournament. Like huge.
Never heard of it, but okay.
Right? It's not a major, but it's a huge tournament.
It's the Pat Cooper of tournaments.
So it's his biggest tournament. Yes, fine. It's the biggest tournament of his life, biggest tournament win of his life.
Mhm.
The next day, he turns around and he caddies for one of his friends for 36 holes. Zach Bachu, his former roommate at Oklahoma State. So he barely spends time celebrating his victory. This buddy Zach says, "Hey, can you caddy for me in this qualifying tournament for the U.S. Open?" He's like, "Yeah, I got you."
It's a good dude.
Dude, that's an awesome dude.
But you would do that.
I would.
You
but
would
I'm
do
just saying
that.
That's a pretty awesome dude.
That's a great dude. You know,
I kind of like it. I kind of think that's cool.
I think it's definitely cool. And you know, it's cool, but I think we would all do it. I think we would. I think, you know.
I don't know. If you're a celebrity like that, you might be like, "Hey, dude, I'll hire
Is
you
he
a caddy."
a celebrity though? Like he won his.
Not a celebrity, fine. But what I'm saying is, if you're in that big of a dude in the golf world,
like
which he is,
Tiger Woods isn't doing that. But I mean, like.
But this guy is in the top 20 of golfers. Like he's a big name.
Yeah. Okay, then that's even cooler. That does make it cooler.
Yeah,
I just didn't understand how.
I agree, and that's why I normally don't mention golf stories.
Yeah, I've just never heard of him, and that's why I was kind of like, okay, well, if he's, you know, Happy Gilmore, then hey, let him caddy. I would caddy.
Two more big stories. I'm gonna bump one. But Lionel Messi is moving to the MLS, which is huge.
Lionel
Messi.
I just think it's stupid.
He's moving to Inter Miami, which is crazy huge. I mean, you're talking like the biggest name in soccer, probably, in Lionel Messi, coming to MLS. This guy's played for Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona. He's like the biggest attraction on the Argentina national team, and now he plays here.
Isn't it like, though, it's like when your parents move to Florida, it's like where they go to die. It's essentially because, like,
he's old.
Yeah, but didn't David Beckham come to America too in his final years? So
same with Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, so we're getting the past his prime Lionel Messi, which by the way, it should be Lionel. I hate the fact that people always correct me and say Lionel, but
I'm going to call him Lionel. I like.
It should be Lionel.
But like he wanted to go back to Barcelona. They couldn't work anything out. And like you said, so he's going to
sell
at
jerseys
the end of his career. But this guy sells jerseys.
Yeah, he's going to sell a ton of jerseys. So it's awesome. Good on him.
And get people in the stands. I love it. I think it's
awesome. But I guarantee you it does nothing for like MLS. It'll do good for MLS in Miami, but it won't do good for MLS. Like I don't think it's going to make MLS better. I don't know soccer, but is it
when he travels, people like if he comes to DC United, like they'll go to a DC United game.
Yeah, but like you know how like
versus versus
yeah, but you know like England soccer is like obviously huge.
Well, yeah,
German Bundesliga is huge. In America, soccer will never be as big as the Big Four.
No, it won't.
And that's what I'm saying. No matter who you
it's going to combat golf and NASCAR to even get in the top 6.
Yeah, it's like no matter who you throw at it, it's not going to help American soccer.
Right? I mean, and if you want to even argue, women's softball is even bigger. Like that's on every freaking TV now.
Yeah. So I'm happy for him. I probably will never see.
I just think it's a good story that he's coming here.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's like Gretzky on his last legs.
Yeah.
You know, when he went to the Rangers, it's kind of like, God. You know, hey, it is what it is. He's there to sell jerseys.
Yep.
It's cool. Good, you know, good on them. And hey, if you're a Miami fan, then hey, go get yourself a Messi jersey.
And they will. Last but not least, Dalvin Cook, who's like a stud running back, is going to be released by the Minnesota Vikings.
What's up with that? Is it drugs?
Contract, just contract costs. So they can save like $9 million, I think. So instead of paying him 14 this year, they'll take a cap hit of 5 if they release him after a certain time. They're trying to trade him, but it's in one of those situations where teams, unless you're desperate, right? So, for example, I don't know necessarily the Commanders situation for a running back. I know they had that Robinson guy, but they could probably use Dalvin Cook. So they might be smart to jump in at the last second and go, we'll give you a 5th rounder or a 4th rounder for him. So then this way they at least get something. So that way you don't got to go in a bidding war against teams like Buffalo, Miami.
Sure.
And that's what's going to happen. So he's going to get released as of tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bidding war is going to start for a 28-year-old running back who's probably got a couple years left.
There you go. And speaking of Buffalo, don't vote on Buffalo this year, folks, as being a good team.
Why?
Because it got announced today.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
The cover of the new Madden is going to be Josh Allen. And so you know what that means. The curse. I never believed the curse until it happened to me. And remember, I was fantasy football like 10 years ago. I had like the number 1 draft pick who in fantasy football. I picked the person, and I think you warned me, sir, about the curse, and I was like, no, the curse doesn't exist.
Oh, the curse
stupid.
is real.
I forgot who it was. It was
Marshall Falk, probably.
It was like Christian Okoye. It was something. It was somebody, and like you were telling me about the curse, and I was like, no, it'll be fine. And dude gets injured like right off the bat, game 1.
It might have been Sean Alexander.
Sean Alexander, that's who it was, and Sean Alexander, and he was out for like the whole season.
Yeah,
done. Did nothing for me. So if you're rooting for Josh Allen, folks,
that could
Buffalo,
be like, I really don't like the, I hate getting on that cover.
I don't know why any players.
I mean, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, Lamar Jackson was on last year's cover, and he's been out 6 games, and he was out the playoff game.
They haven't had anybody that successfully survived the season, as far as I know.
Right? I mean, am I right, Brian? He was on the 2022 cover, wasn't he?
I think so. I can look it up.
Yeah, I'm almost positive. And then he had like what? He was injured 6 games, 7 games?
How horrible would it be?
That's just said the curse is real.
How horrible would it be if the owners of Buffalo were like, could you take DeMar Hamlin instead and put him on the cover instead of Josh Allen?
So last year it was
Mahomes,
and he won the Super Bowl. So
and Mahomes, Brady. Okay, so it didn't work last year.
Okay.
But it didn't work for Brady. Brady was terrible.
Yeah, it didn't work for Brady took all the pressure off of Mahomes.
Yeah, I think the curse went to Brady instead of it had to go to one of the two, so it went to Brady.
It definitely went to Brady.
All right, that's all I got. That was a lot though.
Boom. So hey, Josh Allen, like I'm telling you, I would be like, hey, here's Shecky, our Greens guy. Can you put him on the old cover instead of Josh Allen? So let's see here. Up next. Okay, so it's time for Matt's Backstage Pass. And very exciting news for me.
For me.
It got announced, and don't think your boy didn't already get tickets. You
did not.
The Violent Femmes announced their
I'm leaving.
A continuation of their 40th anniversary tour of the very first album, which I have hanging on my wall autographed. It's literally in my top 5 albums of all time, and they're playing it cover to cover for their 40th anniversary tour with other songs mixed in. And so don't think I didn't immediately get the pre-sale code and got myself some tickets.
Oh my God.
Can't wait. So if you're a big Violent Femmes fan,
when is the show?
It's in October.
Wow.
And so, it happens to be on a Friday. I got to talk to you about that, sir. No, it's Maryland. So, anyway, folks, Violent Femmes, if you like them, I would say that now's the time to see them.
Why do they all play on a Friday as opposed to Saturday, Sunday?
No clue. But it may be. I personally think it's probably going to be their last tour. I think they're just going to be like, this is the album everybody knows them for. They're going to be like, we've done it all. We've been there, done that. So if you want to see them, this is the definite time to go see them. With that being said, new albums this week. It's a little bit of, kind of like last week. There's a little bit of something for everybody, I guess. Not anything for me. I will say, except for one.
Wait a minute. What then?
I'm bringing it for the listeners, not necessarily. I'm not saying this is what I'm listening to.
I'm curious as to why we bring up albums that you don't know.
Because I'm not saying I don't know them. I'm saying I'm not going to buy them.
But what I'm saying is if you're not going to buy them, what do you think the chances are of any listener that we have buying them?
Well, there's a great chance. For instance.
No, there's zero chance. And I want everyone to comment in the YouTube thing, any of the listeners to the podcast, to the podcast. If you think you're going to buy any one of these albums, say yes, I'm going to buy one of them, and then I'll apologize. But I guarantee you won't get anybody.
It could have. So here's the thing: like Extreme, who I love, like the Porno Graffiti album came out in '89, I believe.
89
was fantastic.
30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. Well, they have a new album called 6, which is getting great reviews, and
it should be called Busted.
I'm just saying, Extreme is a great band from Boston, and if you like Extreme, you're going to want to go get this album because it's getting ridiculously great reviews. I personally didn't like their last couple albums. I own them all. So I will probably.
So you own them all and you're not going to buy this one?
I say this now.
Okay. You'll probably.
I probably will end up getting it because I do like Extreme and I do think I've seen them live a few times. They're great live. Then the next one, Niall Horan, who is a former One Direction guy, I'm telling you, this is probably going to be the biggest album of the week.
What?
Niall Horan, he's like a guest. He's a judge on The Voice too. He's like,
what? Really?
Yeah, he's got an
Niall?
album. The album is called The Show. It's pretty big. I'm not gonna like that.
Wow.
I'm not a pop guy.
No,
you are.
I am, but I mean,
the reason
I don't listen to One Direction.
That's the reason why
I'm.
reason why I'm bringing this up because there may be somebody in the hey, look, Niall Horan. I like One Direction. I'm going to go buy that album. The other one is Jason Isbell, which would be for you actually.
For me,
yes.
Jason.
Have you ever heard
of Jason Isbell?
Jason Isbell is like a soulful like country singer. You would love him. He's great voice. He's got good laid back songs.
Okay. I might have to check him out. I'm not going to buy the album, but I'll YouTube some of his songs.
Album is called Weathervanes. And I have a couple Jason Isbell albums.
Of course. You ever see him live? Of course.
No, I haven't. No, like I wanted to test him out because this guy has like one of those, anybody who sees him loves him. Everybody who hears him loves him. So I was just like, let me check it out.
Okay.
It's not necessarily for me, but I think it's more for you. And that's why I'm saying I'm going to
have to listen.
Yeah. And then Janelle Monae.
The actress?
She was a singer before she was an actress.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She did.
I only knew her as an actress.
Yeah.
She's hot, by the way.
You know that song from
I would do stuff.
From Fun, it's the tonight.
Yeah.
We are. Yeah. She did the backing vocals for that. But she's done some other stuff, I think, with like Bruno Mars and stuff. And she is, also poised to have a big album. It's called The Age of Pleasure. So I'm kind of making it's not for me.
Not for you.
But it could be for you.
Janelle Monae.
Janelle Monae. I love that name.
Yeah, that's a great
name. And
better than Beatrix.
Oh, I know, right? So so there's people out there that might, like I said, my taste isn't necessarily everybody's taste. So that's why I'm kind of bringing it up. So
Janelle, I had no idea she was a singer. No idea. No clue.
Yeah, 100%. And she's very talented. Like if you actually see her perform, she's like, it's kind of Bruno Mars-ish in a weird sort of way. She's like all over the place. She's got a good look to her when she's, dancing around.
She's got a good look all the time, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know. But she, hey, she's fun to watch. So anyway, I think that's the rest of the music for the week.
End of Backstage Pass.
Yes, the end of Backstage Pass. So anyway, with that,
we said a lot this week.
Yeah, I think we said it.
We had a lot of show titles. We
did. We have a lot that I can't remember anything.
Do you think there's characters at any one of these live shows, like at Niall Horan or whatever his name is?
Niall Horan. I think it's
Extreme. If you went to an Extreme concert, you think you would see more like complete train wrecks?
No, Extreme would be me and you.
Oh, Extreme would be me and you.
Yeah.
Then why is Paramore train wrecks?
Different style of music.
Oh, okay.
It's totally different. And also different age. Like Extreme, if you think about it, Porno Graffiti 89 or 89, 90-ish. That was their, heyday. So that's our age range where we were
17,
listening to
16,
going to check them out. Which, if you haven't heard Porno Graffiti, it's literally it's an amazing album. So even if you don't buy 6, go buy that one, and it's fantastic.
Bam.
You know that one.
Of course I know that one.
So anyway, Niall Horan is probably going to have the Paramore people.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
You know, Jason Isbell is going to have you.
Nice.
You and your brother are going to be at Jason Isbell. And Janelle Monae, that could be, honestly, that could be more Niall Horan. Paramore.
More train wrecks.
Yeah. But anyway, just people who don't judge.
Well, we judge. But I do judge Andy from Creative Underground very favorably because Andy's one of the best dudes around because all music, all tech support for Subfacts is provided by our friend Andy at Creative Underground. He runs a state-of-the-art production studio in Leesburg, Virginia. You and me and everybody can find out more by going to his website, but he does more, folks. He does video live stream youth events. He does corporate events, weddings, concerts, pro karaoke, custom requirements, and he's probably the best audio video tech guy you can find. All you got to do is go to his website,
www.creativeunderground.co, not .com. Boom.
Boom.
I practiced that too.
You practiced .co?
Yeah, as I was testing the mics.
All right.
Okay. You heard him in the beginning of the show, folks, but when you think of pictures and anything photography, you should be thinking of Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com.
Absolutely.
Ben's an award-winning image builder and FAA certified pilot of drones, specializing in commercial real estate marketing, business headshots, corporate events, team imaging, drone cinematography, providing website and social media branding packages. Folks, is there anything he can't do? That's what I question all the time. Is there anything he can't do?
There is nothing he can't do.
If it's a point and click situation, there's nobody else better but Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com.
Yeah, I mean, you got to call him immediately. The next call you got to make. I mean, it's already here, folks. It's, I think, like 12 days away. So summer is upon us. You want your car, vehicle, truck, Jeep, whatever you're driving to look the best ever. You got to get it a ceramic. You got to get it clean. You got to get it look like $9 million. All you got to do is call Big Dog Auto Detailing, folks. 571-233-8716. Say, BK, hey, Subfacts sent me. I need to hook up, and he will. I'm telling you, call now. You got to get on the list because it's probably 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, like, he's that busy. He's the best out there. He'll make your car look like new, smell like new, everything you want it to be. Call him now, 571-233-8716.
And I saw proof of that yesterday, a matter of fact. He had to stop by to pick up something, and he drove up, and, like, they have, like, a family vehicle. And I was like,
the family truckster?
No. And I was like, did you get a new car? Like, cause it like just seeing it drive down the street, it was like sparkling. Everything was like tip top. And I was just like, man, you got a new car? He's like, dude, no, it's the same one. And keep in mind, this car's like 8 or 9 years old.
And it's perfect.
And it looked like it came right off the showroom.
See, that's what I'm saying.
And he was like, dude, what do you think I do for a living? And I was like, I'm just saying, damn. I thought that's crazy. So, Big Dog Auto Detailing, 571-233-8716. Now it comes down to us, folks. Obviously, we've mentioned it quite a few times in the last, couple months. We are 100% trying to push our YouTube presence. So definitely check out our channel. We're adding things all the time, whether it's reaction videos. We've done a food tasting thing. We've done vlogs. We've done some snippets of our show. We're even going to add some snippets of more like extra bonus stuff, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you're going to definitely want to like, subscribe, and hit the notification.
Are we going to create like an OnlyFans page for like the bonus
page? Hey, if people start paying, we might. Which, by the way, I saw I was watching somebody that I follow on YouTube. And there's a button you can hit where if you just want to donate a little bit, so the girl's like, hey, and if you just want to buy me a coffee, hit this button here. And I'm like, awesome, dude, we need that. Like, we need
buy us a slice of pizza.
Yeah, if you want to buy us a slice of pizza, hit that button right there. So, Brian, figure that out. We need that cup of coffee button. And so, anyway, folks, definitely if you want to really support the channel, but also see more content from us, go to our YouTube channel. It's just type in Subfacts Podcast.
Yeah.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification button. So when we put out new videos, you'll be the first to see them. But if you somehow don't know how to use YouTube, you can definitely hear us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all the same places we've been, forever. And now's the time also, since pools have been open, to get your beach towels.
Absolutely.
So go to subfactspodcast.com for all of your merch and more information about us. Last but not least, if you want to be a part of the show, write in.
Yes.
We've already called people, I think a few times there's been some call outs for write-ins. Subfactspodcast@gmail.com we'll get you on the air. It'll get you on the air. We're going to read it no matter what. And you'll definitely get a shout out. So subfactspodcast@gmail.com. With that being said, folks, I think we've said it all. So stay safe, and we will see you next week.
Hey,
boom.